I think certainly the planning has been important, and I've had to plan the whole way along playing sport, whether it's when to go to training or how to fit things in. So that has allowed me to start thinking about my retirement and my next phase of life, because that's not something you want to just land on you one day and not have any idea of how you're going to manage that. But I think the determination and being able to get through the tough times while you're playing sport also help you when you do transition, because you're less likely to not know what to do next. And I mean, I'm certainly one that has planned for this retirement for many years, so I think that has helped me. I think for me, planning for this next phase of my life started almost when I started playing international hockey, because I knew right from the start my father was very wise, always told me to don't rely on your sport because it won't be there forever. So for me to get my education and have something to fall back on when I finished hockey was really important. So I went to uni and got my degree and had some years of experience while I was playing hockey, so that when I finished it was going to make the transition more smooth, so it wasn't everything in my life changing all at once. And I think that has helped this phase, which has been difficult at times. So I'm grateful that I thought about it prior to finishing. So it's been on my mind for a while. Certainly, and I knew that playing goalkeeper, it's quite wearing on your joints, so for me to play forever is never going to be an option. And I think I re-evaluated my end date a number of times, because you don't want to get that timing wrong. But I have been assessing it as I go, and I knew that when it was time I would leave gracefully. I think the hardest time is when you're contemplating and you're not sure. And the advice I've given to my teammates who are in a similar boat is that unless you're 99% sure that you're done, you're not done. And so when I came to the decision that I was ready to finish, it was an easy decision for me. I actually wouldn't change much. Like I said before, the highs and lows are all part and parcel, and I'm glad I had the low points to appreciate the high points. I think the only thing I'd change is maybe work a little harder in the off season to make it easier once training starts. But I certainly wouldn't change anything in my career, and I achieved more in my career than I ever imagined. I think being in a team sport, working in a team, conflict resolution, all those buzzwords that employers love. There's so many skills that I don't even realise that I have, being able to lead a group, being part of a group and not having to lead. There's so many personal qualities that I've developed as an athlete that do hold me well in my future life. Being able to talk to people, being able to talk to the media, knowing how to engage an audience, all those type of things. And although I don't have any plans to work in the media, that's important in business and life. So there's a lot of personal qualities which I've developed, and I think they will hold me in good stead when I have interviews and go for future jobs. I think when you train so long for a sport and the thought of not having it there anymore, it's quite daunting and scary. And for me, the hardest bit was knowing that I wouldn't be around my teammates anymore. And even now I get a bit sad knowing that I'm not going to training, so I don't get to see my friends, and I actually have to ring and organise to catch up. So yeah, it is a sad time, but all good things must come to an end, and you certainly don't want to drag it out until you're kicked out. So yeah. I guess you do think about whether you should keep playing, and I mean, physically I probably could do another Olympiad, but you have to weigh things up and think, why am I still playing? What do I want to achieve? And if you're struggling to know what else you're playing for, then I think it's time to move on and allow the new generation to come through and sit in your armchair and enjoy the sport without all the blood, sweat and tears, which I'm looking forward to doing. I talk to a lot of people. I talk to my family and my sister, who was also an elite athlete, but also my friends who have retired previous to me. And I talked to them a lot about how they made their decision, when they knew what difficulties they had. And I think that made it more realistic what I was going to go through and what I was experiencing, and the I guess the emotional tussles and the I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. So I think talking to people who have been through it is really important, because it's not an easy decision or an easy process. I guess I have been preparing for some time and looking at what I'll be doing when I finish hockey and where I'd like to work. So talking to people and discussing my options and talking to them about how they got through and what best strategies they used. So whether it's, it's keeping busy or ringing your friends and family if you're feeling a bit sad, or I did employ strategies that my friends used and took on board that it's okay to have days where you're a bit off and you're not even sure why, even though nothing's wrong in your life, but you know that you don't have the next pre-season or you don't have the next training session. So talking to people is so important, and also having a plan for the future and not finishing your career on a Monday and actually not having a clue what you're doing for the rest of the week. Like, you have to forward plan. Life's pretty good. I'm enjoying not being committed to my sport and having my own time. I'm going back to uni very soon, and I guess I'll be not on the hockey field so much, but I guess I'll have my head in the books for the next many years. So going back to university will keep me busy, and I'm looking forward to expanding my career. I've been working in a hospital, but now I'm furthering my education to become a doctor, so I'm really excited. I haven't managed to have a void yet. I've been so busy. I started work as soon as I retired, and going back to uni, there's new challenges and adventures, which is important to do, because if you're so used to the excitement and thrill of sport and competing, to not have challenges anymore can leave a real void. So going back to uni and being smothered with work, I think she'll keep the void well and truly under wraps.